Hello and welcome to the Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. I am Omar Rusanda Amadou. Coming up, police in Tarkwa fast-track autopsy of teen shot dead in Aboso.
Yes, we have actually met with the family and we consoled them, and we are doing everything possible for the process to finish quickly, for them to get the body and for the necessary action to be taken.
Fire destroys mobile phone shelves near Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra.
My preparation say me pon. Ti de mu ya ne say brebi, your friend bro we so oba no say esro o she. Ti e gwade ne enim say nhye normal thing bia. So mo be far away so mo ba be bu ani be first time we shall try so mo do me down by. We hu ye na de hu.
Parents scramble as SHS reopening looms amid rising costs of goods.
Pressure there, Papa, e bia ba yen so. E san say mo books no ne born enough. And akra no so be ko ni nyama kitinkiti bi ni ade. Ti eduru say na ma parent no ya so aye shepa.
Eastern South Police arrest men posing as NIMOS officials to extort minors. Grateful that you join us for the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1 Television. Now, the Western Central Regional Police Command in Tarkwa says it is fast-tracking the autopsy of an 18-year-old, Sambo Usman, who was shot dead during a police operation at Aboso on December 31, 2025, to enable the release of his body to the family. Speaking to Channel 1 News in Tarkwa, the Deputy Commander of the Western Central Regional Police Command, ACP Bismarck Japan, said the police have no intention of killing citizens they are mandated to protect. He consoled the bereaved family and assured them of the command's commitment to due process. ACP Japan, however, cautioned the public against interfering with police operations, especially those targeting criminals and drug peddlers.
The deceased name is Sambo Osman. He's 19 years of age and is from Abotwaze in the Oti region. But he's actually a Fulani tribe. Yes, so that's about it.
What's your message to the family and then those connected to this issue?
Yes, we have actually met with the family and we consoled them, and we are doing everything possible for the process to finish quickly, for them to get the body and for the necessary action to be taken. The message we have for the public is that anytime there is police operation, we are there only targeting criminals and making sure the good people of the country are protected. So if you are a good person, you do not confront the police. Even if you're a criminal and police gets you, just cooperate with the police, because nobody takes you to the police station and get you killed.
Now, parents and guardians across the country are intensifying preparations for the reopening of senior high schools on January 5, 2026, even as many lament the financial pressures involved in getting the awards ready for the new academic year. Daniel Sakte has more in the following report.
With the Ghana Education Service confirming that the 2025-2026 academic year for senior high schools remains unchanged, many parents are racing against time to secure essential items for their awards ahead of the new term. A visit by Channel 1 News to the Central Business District revealed parents and students moving from shop to shop in search of stationery, provisions, and other school supplies. Several parents told Channel 1 News that the impending reopening has placed significant financial pressure on households. Some noted that they had to scale back spending during the festive season in order to prepare for the early January resumption. From textbooks and stationery to food items, many families say they are stretching already tight budgets to meet school requirements.
Pressure there, Papa, e bia ba yen so. E san say mo books no ne bɔne na fam ɛna akora no nso bɛkɔ ne nyama kitinkiti bi ne ade ti eduru sɛ na ma parent no yaso ayɛ hye paa enti ɛkaka books no ɛbɛhwɛ sɛ ɔmɛtima yɛ ho biribi ayɛ dɛ ɛde ama yɛn because akora ba ko bɛ calculate ne books no almost 2000 ɛnya de ɛda fam ɛnkora no so nya baako nti abasa na asɔhye ne de yɛma mu ayɛ de.
This is my second time coming to Prospectus Ghana. That was before the Form 1s went, we came, and then compared to this time around, you don't see a lot of people here around, but I know that the prices are a bit lower compared to the previous one. Depending on the things my ward is picking, like the things she needs. So we targeted around 3,000. We knew she will be going by 5th, and so therefore we need to plan towards that, and so we need to minimize our spending during the Christmas time. So that's it.
While some markets and stationery shops are beginning to see increased patronage, activity remains slow at certain outlets, including Prospectus Ghana. Chief Executive Officer of Prospectus Ghana, Jude Fosu Jemfi, says that although sales are relatively slow for now, he expects demand to rise as reopening date approaches. He adds that recent improvements in macroeconomic indicators have helped to stabilize and in some cases reduce the prices of key school items, offering some relief to parents.
The place has not been busy. One, due to the fact that it's not the main season, and the second due to the fact that it's a holiday. We expect customers to do business. You know, I quite remember 2024-2025 school season, we were selling mattress at around 420 Ghana cedis. We were selling school bags around 200 Ghana cedis. But today, as we speak, our mattress in our shop is being sold for 295 cedis, 50 pesos. So you can tell the difference. The school bag that we were selling 200 plus, today we are selling some 185 and 150 Ghana cedis. So I think prices have come down relatively, yes.
Meanwhile, some bookshop operators report that purchases remain intermittent. Others note that despite recent appreciation of the cedi, book prices have not fallen enough to significantly ease the burden on parents.
Business is not going well. Like, people are buying, people are not buying. Sometimes you come, there is no customer here. But sometimes you come, you get maybe 1 or 2 customers that will come and buy for you. So it's going on and it's not much moving.
Dollar from to be bianco from Waha. Yanti books to be also. Near Yavni say SSS books only 200. Now say 200 in Swa. First Mama 25%. Say Mama 20%. And your parents na mobile manabre. Me say what they call our percentage now. Measure percentage as I say minya nam dia ton. But Obama parent now per se on ne bre soteno ako high.
As the reopening date draws closer, parents and traders alike are hopeful the new term will begin smoothly despite financial constraint that accompanies back to school seasons. For Channel 1 News, I am Daniel Sakite.
Now, mobile phone accessories dealers operating near the Royal VVIP station at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra are counting their losses after a fire gutted several shops in the area. The blaze, which reportedly started around 8:40 p.m. on Friday, was swiftly brought under control by the Ghana National Fire Service, preventing it from spreading to other structures. Channel 1 News' Fauzu Masawudu visited the scene to assess the extent of damage and has this report.
Some affected traders told Channel 1 News they had supplied mobile phone accessories worth at least 7,000 Ghana cedis, both at the retail and wholesale levels, to other shops within the Kwame Nkrumah Circle business enclave. They say this highlights the severe impact of Friday night's fire on their livelihoods. Eyewitnesses say the fire started in a single shop and spread to others' eyes after a power outage in the area. Some traders also alleged that a nearby fire station was unable to respond promptly to the incident.
Preparation ti de mu yan se brebi ye friend bro wusu oba no se esro ohye ti agade ne anim se nhye normal tin bia to mo be fa we so mo ba be bu ani be first time we shall try so medum ja no bai ye hu ye na de hu na fire service for eba bedroom no.
Fire service for no bedroom na eja na nya adekan.
Oh, first card in can buy be no mo see insuo nim. No mo frame me sa akra for no mo de omo ka ne ba no bedroom ti bibia tedin.
In an earlier statement, however, the Ghana National Fire Service clarified that the Kwame Nkrumah Circle Fire Station could not intervene immediately due to a faulty fire engine. As a result, a fire tender from the Industrial Area Fire Station was deployed as the first responding unit. Traders believe that proper management of electrical appliances, particularly in shops storing combustible items, could help prevent similar incidents in the future.
It is, you know, if I say it will break your shop no one side, but I have a socket to be wall inside. Never the journey A3 to one side. Never 100 you break your born more than 20 times. And son, 18 a day. ABA. Tito ABA, you know, not shops in every son of fire service for so a day. It be do mujano. Hey, Robert. It is a I did be out there in the soul rubber man, a better. So I say, say, you answer.
No casualties were recorded and investigations are underway to determine the exact cause of the fire. This is not the first time a fire of this magnitude is happening in this enclave, but fire safety authorities say it could be the last if traders here prioritize their own fire safety measures. Reporting for Channel 1 News from the Kwame Nkrumah Circle in Accra, Fauzu Masaudu.
Now, police in the Eastern South region are investigating 5 men arrested for allegedly posing as NIMOS officials and extorting money from miners. The suspects were picked up at Aquedum near Kibi after moving from one mining site to another in security uniforms, claiming they were operatives from Accra. The men, aged between 29 and 53, were arrested on Friday, January 2nd, 2026, after a report was made to authorities. They were traveling in a Mitsubishi 4x4 pickup vehicle with registration number GS 53625 when they were intercepted and handed over to the Eastern South Regional Police CID in Chebi for further investigations. Now we are in the year 2026, which means we are getting ready to go cover the New Patriotic Party's presidential primaries as a media house. The NPP, the New Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Kennedy Ohenejepon, has called for peace, unity and prayers ahead of the party's presidential primaries, which is scheduled for the end of the month, that's January 31, 2026. He was speaking to worshippers, and the Honorable Kennedy Japon had this particular program dubbed Ken's National Praise 2026 event. It was on Friday, January 2nd, and he emphasized that the gathering was strictly a Thanksgiving service and not a political campaign activity. So what exactly was the Honorable Kennedy Japon trying to do? We've been joined in studio now with more on what has been happening. Kwesi Kwatin is a spokesperson for the Kennedy Japon campaign team. He's joined us in studio. You're welcome to Channel 1 Newsroom.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. Now you do church service too? You do crossover watch night service. Is that what you're doing now?
No, this one is not crossover. Watch night service. Crossover is usually mostly done on the 31st of December.
You did yours on
This one is second, so it can't be crossover. This one is ushering.
So what were you ushering? What was the idea? What was is it a church program that you attended or you organized a church program?
No, it's an event. It's an event of the campaign. You know, campaign is not necessarily an event, it's a process. You may have to campaign on all angles, but of course, most importantly, you also have to remember that at the end of the day, those of us, per our faith and what we believe as Christians, victory alone comes from the Lord. So, in such circumstances, you have to commit yourself to the Lord. Thank God, of course, for the good tidings, the past, the support, the commitment, the prayers that we've enjoyed in the past. Moving around the country has not been easy. Touring all 276 constituencies, it's not been easy. So at a moment like this, especially beginning of the year, you get your team to, once again, renew our commitment to God, ask for God's blessing, God's favor, and most importantly, the strength to win at the end of the day. So it
was a Thanksgiving service of a kind?
Thanksgiving service, yeah.
Was it multi denominational, or it was one denomination? How did you organize this?
It was open to the general public. It was open to the general public. So, I mean, certainly there will be a lot of people who will be attending irrespective of their denominational background. But at the end of the day, certainly we may have to choose a venue, and the venue happened to be one particular church, which is denominational in its nature. But in terms of the people that were inside the auditorium.
So you brought pastors from other churches?
Yes. Some came from Kumasi, across the country. Some came
from other churches, not necessarily from location.
Because if you recall, the first pastor that spoke came from Assemblies of God, Ghana. And I think the subsequent one, if I am right, also came from a different, but all of them, the clergy were from different churches. You know, Bernard, for instance, was also there. He comes from Spirit Life, more the charisma. So we had the Protestants, we had some members from the Catholic. We also have some from the AG and all other denominations.
So you are the ones who organized this. Was it what you envisaged? Would you say that you have realized what you were wanting to do?
I would say our expectations were even overmet.
Really?
Yes.
How so?
Because you would expect that as you commit yourself into the hands of the Lord, and of course ask for His guidance and prayer. We just made the invitation very open. But the number of calls, the extent of subscription to the event, there was apparently an even overflow outside the auditorium. So I would say that our expectations were more than met. And of course, you know, the auditorium was more or less like a studio setup. So you have to gauge the outcome of the program based on the momentum that is gathered within the public space. And of course, whether politically, spiritually, I mean, socially, we believe that it's overserved the purpose that we wanted.
Are you trying to send a message by doing a Christian church campaign for an internal primary?
I think our message is one that is about what we believe in and what our candidate believes in. Our candidate believes in Christ. Our candidate believes in the Christian God. Of course, our candidate also embraces everybody. Yesterday, there were different people. If you recall, the MC even announced that the Buddhists had representation. We had extended even invitation to our traditional leadership. Gamancha representation were there. Their representatives were there. There were other people from the Muslim community also even were there. So, of course, we were professing our faith. We were manifesting our faith, the faith of the candidate. But, of course, we also embrace all other faith. Because, I mean, Omar, at the end of the day, Japan, if he gets the opportunity to come and lead the country, he's not going to be the president for only Christians or the faith that he aligns with.
So will you do one for Muslims too?
I mean, it's not come to the table as at now. It's not come to the table as at now. But like I indicated, it has more to do with the faith that he believes in. I'm sure, consequently, if we get to a stage where we believe that we may have to consider our other faith, not necessarily Muslims, probably. The other question would be, what about Buddhists? What about traditionalists? We probably may be looking at organizing 1,001 events. But for now, it's the faith of the candidate that we believe strongly that we have to pay homage to what he believes, which is the Christian God.
You mentioned El Bernard, and he has reinforced a prophecy that he made.
Yes.
What would you say to a cynic and a critic who says, you just put this together so that because you didn't have a 31st night prophecy saying that you are going to be flag bearer, you bring the prophet to your own place, and after he prays, and he will say, oh, I've endorsed you.
Well, at the end of the day, who are we even deceiving in the first place? Because 31st is just at the corner. It's about 27, 28 days. So if we want to fool ourselves, in quote, then we'll be exposed. What benefit will it be to us? We had extended invitation to Prophet El Bernard and many other pastors, not only Prophet El Bernard. So, I mean, people who felt they needed to honor it, honored it. I am not a prophet. I don't see what he sees, even though I believe and strongly aligns with his faith and the calling and anointing on his life. But of course, I mean, even before the 31st, Bernard had earlier spoken, if you recall.
Yeah.
Even prior to the 2024 election, he publicly also made similar declarations that President Mahama was going to win. So there's a track record. And so somebody like me, as a Christian, the Bible says, believe in my God and believe in also a prophet. So I do not have any basis to doubt.
So that's the spiritual realm. But in the scientific realm, where Musa Dankwa and people like him who do the polling, it doesn't look like you are winning.
Even Musa Dankwa has also come under serious criticism like Bernard. I have always seen Musa Dankwa's work as a feedback for us to improve the things that we are doing. Of course, there are instances where I disagree with him. For instance, just last December, if hypothetically, if I get my figures right, he's done about 19 polls. And one will wonder how even the extent of how he's even resourced to even have the logistics to even carry out such polls. I mean, there are quarters like me, myself, who places some value and credibility on the work that he does. Of course, there have been situations where he had his predictions wrong. The first time he predicted for President Mahama in 2020, he had it wrong. But of course, consistently to he's also built that some level of credibility for himself.
So that's why if you believe in his credibility and he's not saying that you are winning, then there's a problem for you. So spiritually you are winning, but scientifically...
I mean, at the end of the day, if you recall, if I had to go by the extension of the same logic, Musa Dankwa initially had given Ken 18% in the 2023 primaries. We pulled 37%. So if I had to go by the same Musa Dankwa analogy and do something that is logically consistent, this time around he gave us what, 31% or 33%. We should be doing around 66 or so. Because anytime he predicts for Ken, the man has demonstrated that consistently is able to double it up, multiply by 2. So I just don't want to downplay his efforts and his role. But of course, people have criticized him, like people criticize Bernard. People believe that he's abusing the credibility that he's built to control public perception in many spheres. I mean, those are arguments that people have advanced. I do not have any basis and evidence to support him. But all I would say is that we welcome his work. He's not the only scientist or pollster in the country. We also have process that we engage to at least give us an idea of how we are doing. But bottom line is that, Umaru, 31st will be the D-Day.
And it's good. So it's good to mention 31st, which is like 28 days away.
Yes.
How are you preparing as a campaign, aside doing a church service?
I think the church service was just part of the process. Like I said, campaign is not an event. Spiritual, physically, you have to be prepared.
So right now, physically, what are you doing? What's your campaign plan? Are you going to go back to do another nationwide tour, or now you're going to do rallies?
No, Kennedy Japan currently is the only candidate that has been able to do 16 regions as at now. From tomorrow, he'll be continuing his tour from the Asante region. Myself and Honorable Irene Atoshi will also be in the Eastern region. Ken's wife, also Madam Christiana Japan, will also be in the Central region. And of course, the MP and the MPs that we have and some other teams, they are also down, also working. So we are not banking all our hopes on spirituality or prophecies or church. No, but it's just a marriage of the two, where we don't have to compromise the other. At the same time, we're also not sacrificing one for the other. We are working, we are speaking to the delegates. Most important is selling our message, the message of hope, that if we bring Kennedy Japan, Ghanaians says they will vote. That is what the message that we are selling to the party people. And consistently, we believe they are buying it.
How are you going into this election? Are you going into the election as the leaders in the race, or you are going into the race as the people, the campaign that is following Dr. Bawumia, and you are hoping to topple him?
I believe that referencing what pertained in 2023, now we are all coming from a level playing ground. Record 2023, Dr. Bawumia had enjoyed the full establishment support. And when I say he was the establishment support, the establishment candidate, it presupposes that he had the government or the incumbency's support. And of course, he has some level of advantage. But right now, I mean, clearly the establishment has broken. President Akufo-Addo, who was the captain of the boat today, has jumped off and jettisoned the boat. And Dr. Bawumia is the only person now in it.
We haven't seen that. Dr. Nana Akufo-Addo has not said that he has run
I know that.
Which boat has he entered?
I know. No, I mean, for now, I can tell you which boat he has jumped off.
But I can't tell which boat he has jumped on.
I can tell you which boat he has jumped off.
Did he jump onto the Kennedy Japan boat? Because then if he hasn't, then that's also a problem.
I don't have his permission to share where he is now, but I know where he's not. And of course, you know, Dr. Brian Champo used to be there, Arena Toshi, Kwabena Japan, my own former boss, Dr. Duchi, they all used to be there. So right now, the establishment...
But he still has advantage to the extent that he was your flag bearer and people say that he's the most marketed and that he should go? You don't agree with that?
Yeah, logically, it will appear so. But in terms of it, practically, it may not necessarily be so. You know, I've always maintained that marketability is quite different from acceptability, right? In the case of Dr. Baumi, I feel that he has had much presence and visibility, right? Owing from the time that he came as with Akufo-Addo from 2008 up to 2024. He's been around at least for the past 16 years. So in terms of visibility, he has had it, yes. But in terms of marketability translates into acceptance. That is where the data does not support that he has been marketable, especially from the last election.
In 30 seconds, what's your assessment of the electoral process so far? Has it been fair to you as a campaign? And two, what will be the option for Kennedy Agyapong if he loses on 31st?
Well, in terms of the electoral processes, I want to take the opportunity to commend the Presidential Election Committee. I think they've done a yeoman's job. They are determined to ensure that there is a free and clean process for all of us. And so, as at now, even most of the guidelines, if you look at it, now we've outsourced most of the processes to the Electoral Commission. So, on that
things
basis,
are going well on that side.
I think it's
so we hear Kennedy Agyapong on election day say, "Remember, we show down on a phone call."
What we won't hear is that Kennedy Agyapong will not lose. Okay. I will tell you that Kennedy Agyapong is going to win. So you see the question.
What if he loses? What will happen to him? Would he remain with the MPP?
I've always maintained that such questions, to be fair, has to be redirected to the Baumi camp. The basis is that Kennedy Agyapong has a track record where he lost in 2023 and even went ahead to support the party and Dr. Baumi.
So it's a no-brainer to ask.
I mean,
but it's still worth making the commitment.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, from the data that we have, the campaign that we are doing, the momentum, the mood of the party people, the mood of the nation, I am strongly convinced that 31st, Ken is going to be declared the winner.
Kwesi, wish you all the best and thank you for joining us.
I'm grateful.
That's Kwesi Kwarteng. He's a spokesperson to the Kennedy Agyapong campaign team. This is Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. Now, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jeno Pokwaa-Agyeman, has called on student leaders to uphold integrity, particularly in the collection and management of student dues. She made the appeal at the 2026 Pentecost Students and Associates the Spencer Ghana Conference held in the Central Region. Channel One News' Sarah Pia reports.
The annual conference brought together around 13,000 students from across the country. The event seeks to equip Pentecostal students to live out their Christian values in academic, personal, and social spheres. It emphasizes spiritual growth through sermons, teachings, and seminars designed to strengthen participants' Christian faith and Pentecostal beliefs. The Vice President, Professor Nana Jeno Pokwaa-Agyeman, the guest speaker, urged student leaders on various campuses to demonstrate fairness and honesty in the collection of student dues and to ensure resources are used equitably.
What you practice now in small, seemingly private ways establishes the patterns that later govern public life. On your campuses, leadership is taking shape in how group work is handled, who is included or excluded, in whether influence is used to lift others or advance yourself. These moments rarely announce themselves as leadership tests, but they are precisely that. This is important. As campus leaders, for example, when you collect dues from your fellow students, continue to prioritize the entire student population. That is why you are leaders. That is the essence of leadership. It is like the state collecting taxes from the citizens. That money must be used in the interest of everyone, with special emphasis and attention to the vulnerable.
She also warned students against academic misconduct, particularly examination malpractice, noting that such behavior, if unchecked, could have a lasting negative impact on their professional lives.
Every assignment revised carefully and every effort made even when dishonesty seems easier, are investments in your credibility. A system shows its values in what it declares and in what it allows. And so, academic dishonesty is not a minor mistake. It is an early warning sign. When shortcuts become normal in a classroom, they do not vanish in professional life. Nations that stumble, they do not stumble because their citizens lack intelligence. They stumble when standards decline and when character becomes optional.
You're still watching the Channel One Newsroom on Channel One Television. Still ahead. Boho chiefs alarmed by rising youth drug abuse. More on that when we return. Please stay with us.
Hey, Ghana. So you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, though. I am killing the grades. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
Fresh year, fresh fire. Catch 3 hot new shows every weeknight on Aquaba Magic this January. La Manor premieres on 5th January 2026 and shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Market Queens Season 2 is back from 6th January 2026 and every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Bloodline premieres on 8th January and shows Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. 3 shows, pure magic. Aquaba Magic, Ghana's most loved storyteller.
Welcome to the Health Quarters Ghana, where medical science meets everyday life. Join Dr. Gideon Asan and the irrepressible Clemento Suarez as they tackle health issues.
My name is Dr. Gideon Asan. I have with me here my co-host, Clemento Suarez.
I knew how it felt anytime I started to feel the pain.
Whether it is hernia, breast cancer, cataracts, or infertility, the show brings together victims to share their real-life stories and experts to debunk myths.
If you wear cotton supporter, and there be a pampers and a benwa or bosom. So you see, instead of it being raw egg, I done it because you ain't milk.
Make a date with us every Sunday at 4 p.m. on Channel One TV. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and all social media platforms at Health Quarters Ghana.
10 years of unforgettable memories, breathtaking sights, unlimited excitement, new friendships. And this March, we're turning it all the way up. From the 1st to the 8th of March 2026, get ready for the road trip of a lifetime. 8 epic days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We roll from Greater Accra through the Eastern region, cruise into the Northern and Upper East regions, vibe through the Western region, and hit many more iconic destinations across Ghana. It's culture, it's adventure, it's pure discovery with the best people and the best vibes. Expect non-stop fun, endless scenic views, deep cultural immersion, new networks, and friendships and memories that will outlive the journey. Seats are limited, and this is the 10th anniversary. You cannot miss it. Watch out for details soon.
You're welcome back. Now, the traditional authorities of Ntribuho on the Kwabre South district of the Ashanti region have expressed serious concerns over the growing abuse of illicit drugs among the youth, warning that the trend is gradually destroying their future. According to the leaders, the widespread use of illicit substances has contributed to rising indiscipline and insecurity in the community and its surrounding areas. Ashanti regional correspondent Bright Yepwa has more.
Nana Bafo Kofi Atobra II, the traditional leader of Ntribuho, together with the district chief executive Patricia Pearl Ankra, cut the sword for the construction of a police station in the community to help strengthen security. Speaking to Channel 1 News on the sidelines of the ceremony, Nana Bafo said the increasing abuse of illicit drugs has fueled indiscipline and insecurity, emphasizing the need for authorities to fast-track the completion of the police station to help curb the menace and restore law and order.
Kubu pa kase eye we num ene chamo ene no mantem nyinala efrancho breman kronom omu di ha koye station a omu ton wi ene no boni a omu ton no hanya sem kotwa atutra sem go wonu gwetwese kan o da mantem na konfu dwane eto wuram ne adade ene na me hu sese bi ye the police station ba na e bambo mu ejina ya amana boy.
As part of the event, Nana Bafo also commissioned a 16-seater public toilet facility to improve sanitation and promote public health in the community. The district chief executive disclosed that funds from the Mineral Quarry Fund will be used to ensure the timely completion of the police station projects under the supervision of the traditional leadership.
Enam onenkyerɛkyerɛ paso a yɛde ɛma yɛde wɔ quarry hɔ no sɛ sika no ɛna yɛaboaboa no a ɛnɛ yɛde kɔ akɔyɛ project no so wɔanya panyipa ama na nni w'anim a nneɛma ne nsɛnkaeɛ bi sei no wontumi ɛnka ɛnkɔ nti quarry fund no ɛna yɛde kɔ a quarryfoɔ no ɛdi mu tintiman na nanom afutuo ka ho bi.
The Ntribuho community, which has been grappling with security challenges in recent times, appears to now have a renewed sense of hope following the sword-cutting ceremony to construct a police post to serve the Ntribuho community and its neighboring areas. For Channel 1 News, I am Bright Yeboah.
Now, management of the Ghana Police Service Hospital has expressed concern over the increasing number of patients whose identities remain unknown upon arrival at the facility. According to the hospital authorities, many of these unidentified persons are victims of road accidents or incidents involving police patrol operations or brought in unconscious or without identification. There's more in the following report.
The pathologist at the Ghana Police Hospital, ACP Dr. Osei Owusu Efriye, described the situation as worrying, noting that the growing number of unidentified patients is placing immense pressure on both the emergency unit and the hospital's mortuary. He explained that the hospital often has to rely on internally generated funds to cater for such patients, from providing medical treatment to preserving their bodies in the morgue should they unfortunately pass away.
We have faced a lot of logistical challenges with where to place these persons. We've had to use our internally generated funds, sometimes running into over 1 million cedis every year for the ones who are alive, and close to 500,000 cedis a year for the deceased persons. This morning serves encourages all of us who may have some resource to be able to help our underprivileged ones to also come in and help us. We do not know when you can come in as an unknown person. These persons sometimes are people who have traveled from other parts of the country and have come into the city and probably have been knocked down by a vehicle or have fallen sick.
The medical director of the facility, COP Dr. Samuel Otunyako, also highlighted that the surge in the number of unknown patients necessitated the construction of an additional ward to accommodate the growing patient load. The new ward, he said, was built through the support of businessman and philanthropist Alhaji Seidu Agongo. Dr. Otunyako further appealed for more assistance to help complete an administrative block for the police mortuary, which he said would improve service delivery and record management.
We have several challenges, but the one that was acute was where to place people who are found wandering in town, ill, people who are injured, maybe beaten and left somewhere. You know, our policemen go on patrols and they are brought here. And when they come as police officers, we cannot send them anywhere. We cannot refer them on to another facility. We have to accept them. And we had about 11 beds in the emergency department. And there were times that these 11 beds were occupied by such people. So what happens when other people have emergencies? They come and we have to quickly refer them, not because we are unable to handle them, but because the space simply wasn't there. So that was the main challenge that we had. And luckily, Alhaji Agongo and his people have come to construct this structure for us, which we'll use for such people. When you look at our morgue, it's an old morgue. We've tried to restructure it and make it better, but we needed a separate space for administrative purposes.
For his part, Alhaji Seidu Agongo stated that his decision to support the hospital was aimed at improving healthcare delivery and contributing to the welfare of both officers and the general public who rely on the facility. He urged other benevolent individuals, corporate bodies, and organizations to also support efforts to strengthen healthcare infrastructure across the country, especially at public hospitals.
And word to other businessmen and the young guys is that let's always look at long-term progress. Let's not look at short-term. Somebody say, oh, the salary is not enough. Oh, it's not salary. Look at the police people. Look at the way they work. Go and check how much they are paid. But, you know, when it comes to success, success goes beyond you to your kids, to your family. And you have no control over that. It's only when you willingly, openly do things for people without demanding anything that grace will fall on you.
Meanwhile, ACP Dr. Osei Owusu Efriye reiterated his call to the general public to visit the Ghana Police Hospital to check and identify any relatives or friends who might be among the unidentified patients currently receiving treatment.
Again, to all of us, if you have a relative who's been missing for a while and you are not sure where the person is, the person may have been knocked down by a vehicle, the person may have gotten sick, you know, having come into Accra. Come around, speak to administration, see if you can identify your relative, and that will also be very helpful to us.
You're still watching the Channel 1 Newsroom on Channel 1's television. Still to come, Sunyani steps up clean-up efforts to reclaim regional capital title. More on that when we come back. Please stay with us.
Fresh year, fresh fire. Catch 3 hot new shows every weeknight on Aquaba Magic this January. Lap Manor premieres on 5th January 2026 and shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Market Queens Season 2 is back from 6th January 2026 and every Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Bloodline premieres on 8th January and shows Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. 3 shows, pure magic. Aquaba Magic, Ghana's most loved storyteller.
Hey Ghana, so you people know Miss Brother once more. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the great. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha.
10 years of unforgettable memories, breathtaking sights, unlimited excitement, new friendships. And this March, we're turning it all the way up. From the 1st to the 8th of March 2026, get ready for the road trip of a lifetime. 8 epic days, 14 regions, 1 legendary caravan. We roll from Greater Accra through the Eastern region, cruise into the Northern and Upper East regions, vibe through the Western region, and hit many more iconic destinations across Ghana. It's culture, it's adventure, it's pure discovery with the best people and the best vibes. Expect non-stop fun, endless scenic views, deep cultural immersion, new networks, and friendships and memories that will outlive the journey. Seats are limited, and this is the 10th anniversary. You cannot miss it. Watch out for details soon.
Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on Channel 1 Television. On The Point of View, we pick the right topics, get the right guests, and ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you.
With the complexities of the issues happening around us on a daily basis, it's the hard-hitting conversations and the probing questions of The Point of View.
So what is the Public Account Committee's job?
So what we do is to scrutinize, clarify, and find out why certain infractions have been made.
What do these IMF programs try to do?
The current program is for budget support.
Okay.
There are no projects attached.
That teases apart the twisted entanglements of politics and governance, as well as religious and social discourse. The Point of View brings you the policymakers and duty bearers and drills down to the very bottom of issues.
What authority do you have?
The Point of View airs every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Welcome to the Health Quarters Ghana, where medical science meets everyday life. Join Dr. Gideon Hassan and the irrepressible Clemento Suarez as they tackle health issues.
My name is Dr. Gideon Hassan. I have with me here my co-host, Clemento Suarez.
I knew how it felt anytime I started to feel the pain.
Whether it is hernia, breast cancer, cataract, or infertility, the show brings together victims to share their real-life stories and experts to debunk myths.
If you wear cotton supporter, and there be a pampers and a benwa or bosom. So you see, instead of it being raw egg, I done it because you didn't know.
Make a date with us every Sunday at 4 p.m. on Channel 1 TV. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and all social media platforms at Health Quarters Ghana.
You're welcome back. Now, the Sunyani Municipal Assembly has announced plans to intensify the enforcement of its sanitation bylaws as part of efforts to restore the city's status as the cleanest regional capital in the country. The municipal chief executive for Sunyani East, Vincent Ntweje, gave the assurance during a monthly cleanup exercise. He warned that persons who flout the Assembly's sanitation regulations by indiscriminately littering the environment will be prosecuted. Channel 1 News' Michael Sapomfum has more.
Over a decade ago, the then Ghana Tourism Commission awarded Sunyani the accolade of the cleanest community in Ghana. However, this recognition is gradually slipping away due to several factors, including increasing population, poor waste management, and the attitudes of some residents. Gutters that once flowed freely are now choked with waste. Indiscriminate littering has become common, while the absence of waste bins on many streets has left residents with limited options for proper waste disposal. These challenges have contributed to a polluted environment and blocked drain systems. During the monthly cleanup exercise, the municipal chief executive for Sunyani East, Vincent Ntweje, noted that stricter enforcement of sanitation bylaws will help improve cleanliness in the municipality and enable Sunyani to claim its lost accolade as a cleanest community.
Sunyani Municipal Assembly, starting this January, will enforce its bylaws to the latter. And I'm very happy that we have the backing of the Traditional Council, we have the backing of our sector ministry, that is the local government and sanitation ministry. I have the backing of the MP, my region minister, and all other stakeholders. So I want to use this platform to urge that where or when a citizen is being confronted with any of our rules and who are being subjected to the sanctions, please, you should go through it to ensure that Sunyani once again becomes the cleanest city.
Concerns were also raised about lack of waste bins across the municipality and what is being done to address the situation.
When the dustbins were in place some years back, our sanitary inspectors had that challenge that when they go into the dustbins, they will see a lot of domestic waste. So they started to withdraw them, and as it stands now, we don't even have a dustbin in town. So what we have done is we have procured, or we are in the process of procuring metallic dustbins that will be affixed on the road, not on the main road. I mean, adjacent of the road, so that one, you can remove the dustbins, and we will just create a very small hole, so that when you have domestic waste, you can just put them inside.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Ahmed Ibrahim, outlined government's broader plans to improve sanitation across the country.
You know, the President himself said that all the bylaws in sanitation, Chieftaincy is going to take part, and that there will be sanitation palace courts, so that there will be instant punishment. This is what the President said at the launch of the National Sanitation Day last year. And you could see that the Sunyani or my representative also stated the same thing, and they have also come out to support this. When chiefs, traditional authorities, government officials, religious leaders, youth, security services all come out for a common purpose, you can be assured that the mission will be accomplished.
The Municipal Chief Executive for Sunyani, Mr. Dejwede, has indicated that his outfit will ensure that bylaws on sanitation are effective to ensure that Sunyani reclaim its glory as the cleanest city in Ghana. For Channel 1 News, Michael Sapolifun, Sunyani.
Well, that's it for Channel 1 Newsroom from our studios at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane at Tesano in Accra. Visit our website, channel1newsonline.com, for information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to Channel 1 TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Channel 1 TV. Download the Channel 1 TV app on the Google Play Store or the App Store. I am Umaru Sandamado. Thank you so much for watching us.